Are you just waking up?
Yes. Oh. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me pull up homage database because we might need it. YouTube. Okay. Monetization good. Okay. Yo. We're back.
Hi.
Here's your.
Oh, stream started. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Such an unprofessional content creator.
The stream's been going for the last 30 seconds while I've been setting up.
Yeah. We should have a start, like something like that.
Yeah, we
notice
usually start.
everybody.
We did an intro. Yo! Welcome back!
Just a signal. A signal is fine. Any signal.
Who is the worst 5-star in Genshin Impact? Limited.
Who is the
Worst.
first?
The worst.
Is this what we're starting off with?
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
Yes, this is the intro.
Okay, 70% of the time it's Venti.
I agree, but who's the other one?
Venti is such a cop-out answer.
30% of the time it's Albedo. Then.
All right. Guess who we're talking about today? Welcome. This is the intro. If she speaking of so yes, it's been a while. We're back. We're gonna talk about Chiori. We're also gonna do first impressions for Xianyun and Gaming. There might controversial takes for Gaming. I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
You don't like Gaming?
No, I think he's awful.
What?
Okay, he's not awful. I think he plays awful. And I think he's about 20% weaker than expected, primarily down to rotation time and energy Rex.
What energy Rex were you expecting?
150 at C0, 120 at C4. They are 180 to 200 at C0 and 150 at C4.
Is that about his inconsistency with using elemental skills at the right time?
That's not as okay. That can be a problem. You can also bypass it. I don't like that the bypass requires you to have C6 on another 4-star. If you don't play him with C6 Bennett, you sit on your ass for about like 2-3 seconds, or 1 to 2 seconds.
2 seconds. You have to be very precise.
2 seconds. You have to be very bad, but it's
you have to be extremely precise to get the next elemental skill off after 2 seconds. So yeah, the extra plunge is a very good quality of life if you have Constellation 6 Bennett.
Oh, 1 second.
But I think I am more favorable towards him, but I will talk about this later.
What? Talk about him.
I think he doesn't play as bad as you're saying. Like, it might be a me thing. I tried him in a Constellation 6, full disclosure.
Right.
I enjoyed the mechanic of trying to run towards the lion to get the elemental skill off as fast as possible.
Oh, you like that gameplay loop? Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And is damage for screenshot, like the damage you can deal with an elemental skill is pretty damn high. So he may not be this top tier carry we were expecting, like numbers wise, but I think he's pretty great still.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, my expectations were maybe too high. If you do want to talk about speedrunning, he's unimpressive at best.
Oh, I can see that for sure.
And his like very similarly, his team damage is just fine. It's not. He's not the god killer.
No. I think that's fair as well, but I think he is, if you're looking at other C6 4-star carries, he is above most of them, if not
All of
basically
them.
all of them.
All of them. The only competitive one is Sucrose.
I think it pretty much plays like a more scuffed Xiao.
Lament.
Like a more scuffed Xiao for
Okay,
sure,
but-
because of the team things, the higher energy requirements, the higher dependency on vaping hits, because if you just punch spam with Xianyun, Constellation 6 Bennett, and then Elemental Skill, you're losing the Hydro application in single target situations pretty easily. So his damage is just more conditional than a character
Okay.
like Xiao.
He's a more scuff Xiao, but he also requires you to have. I don't know. Do you have an opinion on if the Bennett C6? How impactful is it? Do you think for Game?
Constellation 6,
Yes.
I think it's very impactful. Like, very impactful for sure. Like, it's the difference between him being just a sort of average character, carry, and him being pretty great.
Okay, so if you want to play scuffed Zhao but red, pulling his C6 means you can do that with any character in the game with a melee weapon. And
Yeah,
it's just as good.
in terms of expense value, is not worth it. Like if you go for Constellation 6 Gaming right now, like compared to 5 stars, is not worth it. Like you're going to spend more to get possibly less compared to the truly great carries for sure.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, okay. So basically, my expectations were just too high. Sorry.
Yeah, and
Similar
is
place.
essentially more limited in terms of teams too, compared to somebody like Hutao, for example.
Yeah, I guess, because weaving his normal attack feels kind of bad if you want to play Yelan. But you technically can, if you want to do like a very similar team, you can do Xianyun, Yelan, Gaming, Furina.
Okay, before I oh sorry.
No, go ahead.
Before I say my point, how do you guys feel about getting a C6 4-star is equivalent to getting a C2 5-star?
My Gaming C6 was 310 pulls.
What the fuck? What constellations is Xianyun?
2.
2? Okay,
2
pretty
and I
much
have half of the next 5-star.
Case closed.
Okay,
It's equivalent. Case closed.
okay, pretty much
No,
perfect.
I have a Constellation 6 Gaming and a Constellation 0 Xianyun.
I pulled C6 Farazan and I had a C0 Wanderer, but I lost 2 50/50s at soft
I actually got
spinning.
a Fars on every pull. I was super lucky.
My Xianyun pulls, I got Farzan the first 10 pulls in a row.
No, I got Gaming Constellation 6 before getting Xianyun, actually.
That's really interesting. That's very lucky.
It is.
What was your pull count?
One Gaming after the other.
What was your pull
But
count?
I didn't check the exact count, but I stopped after getting Xianyun, and it was around 150, 160. Yeah.
Oh, so that is lucky. The average is about 220. 220
Yeah,
to
yeah.
260 is the average range for
Yeah, I was
C6.
definitely lucky. Like,
I
getting
got-
a Constellation
I got
6
unlucky.
4-star.
You know, if we
Yeah.
average out all 3 of ours, it's perfect. It's
Yeah, it's around getting a Constellation 1 5-star, but if you get unlucky, and you can, Constellation 2 5-star or higher.
well, you have to get unlucky to get a constant because it's the equivalent of 3 5-star pulls worth of pulls. So you have to lose 2 50/50s on
Yeah.
average.
Hmm.
So you either get C1 or you get C2. There's not really an in between. There's in that
Yeah.
range.
Uh,
Well, you could be me actually on Sino banner. Let me tell you
what were
something
you
about
doing for
Sino.
Sino?
All right, I got 4 Sinos and 3 Candaces and 70 pulls.
Holy.
Wait, 70?
70
Yes,
pulls.
70 pulls.
What is that luck?
Sino was
I've
the
never
real
even
4-star.
seen a double 5-star.
I didn't get a double 5-star either. It was just back-to-back stuff.
It's ridiculous.
The only way to that was the only way to make release date Sino look good.
True.
No, they gave you Furina, C2, and Abyss. He looked very
Isn't this
good.
Abyss blessing kind of? It's true damage for healing.
Yeah, but the next one is 60 damage % on plunge attacks.
Oh, that's. Well, can't wait to see the speedruns for that.
Everyone's gonna plunge, even though Xianyun in and of herself is aggressively bad for speedruns. I have not seen many Xianyun speedruns, unless their name is Xiao.
I've seen a Kazuha one on bottom half.
Oh, that's fun. This Kazuha
Yeah,
C6 kind of pops off.
Yeah.
I started hearing a very interesting opinion that some people think Xianyun is on the same level or better than Kazuha because Kazuha now doesn't fit with some of the strongest DPS, them being Shao or I'll hate them, since if we're talking what everybody plays, like Nubilet, I'll hate them, now Shao I guess is more popular. And some people started saying, oh no, Kazuha is just good with Nubilet. Cloud Retainer is better, but I don't agree.
Oh, Cloud Retainer is better with Nubilet. I can see it on paper. Because you get things like ununiform resin investment, ununiform primo investment. Nubilet's damage is very likely to be higher in practice than Furina's, which is the major primary reason why you would say Kazuha is still better there. But Xianyun being healer is really nice. She's also really comfortable.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant that some people are saying that Xianyun is just better in terms of meta than Kazuha, which I don't agree with.
I think she's directly tied to Furina. There are not a ton of cases where you don't have Furina where you'll play Xianyun and she'll be optimal. But because those cases exist, I can understand the argument.
What are the cases where you're using Xianyun and not Furina?
Shao. Or if you wanted to play Gaming.
What's you? Oh, melt coming?
Yeah. But you can also
I don't
use,
like
you
his
can also
melt
use Kazuha
teams.
for that. They're actually better. Well, they're more consistent with Kazuha because you can do the cryo absorb setups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more consistent.
But like just in general, I think his melt teams are just way too cringe to actually perform.
Speaking of way too cringe, I am still actually pretty convinced that doing VV for the Pyro Plunge stuff is kind of a DPS loss over something like Song of Days Past or Noblesse.
I've just completely ignored it.
Yeah. They're not hard to do, but it is one of those things where, is this really worth it? I don't think it is. You get to run better instructors uptime on Bennett, and you're just really consistent. It works on multi-wave. You can save rotation time if your name is Gaming, because you can get a direct Bennett funnel.
Yeah. If you're looking at it in terms of total damage, like per rotation and DPS, I can very easily see it being a loss. Because to set it up in a consistent way, you have to lose like 4 seconds of Bennett burst uptime on your carry. But I think it can situationally be good if you can finish a wave or a phase with 2 attacks. Then the damage burst you get from the first 2 or 3 plunges with the Pyro's Word can be pretty significant. So I don't think it's totally useless, just not good in an every case type of way.
Yeah. I'm pretty much leaning towards the advice of recommending Song of Days Past. It's a pretty good set.
I just don't have a Song of the Days Past set. Yeah, I'm so sad. I also don't want to farm it.
The difference is not very noticeable between different sets with Xianyun.
You can also do Noblesse, yes. Especially if you run Instructors Bennett. Which technically should. You know, Instructors Bennett is one of those things. People should be running it. People don't.
But no one really does.
No one really
does. People just folded their 4-star sets immediately.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
I actually keep Instructors pieces. I just still don't use them.
Bruh.
It feels bad to like level a 4-star and you're putting in 5-star artifacts into it.
I love instructors. I'm an original instructor simp. I've admitted defeat. No one uses it, or no one uses it. It's a hopeless argument.
It's that thing that everybody acknowledges, but nobody uses.
No.
What was the set that gives skill damage again? Is it Gamblers? The 4-star one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember people selling it early on in Genshin, like, oh my, it's really good for Zhangling and really good for Fischl.
Guoba popping off.
Zhangling?
Guoba popping off.
Yeah, cause Goba. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe first beta Xianyun when she had 2 Gobas.
I don't know about you.
She had 2 Guobas?
Yes, and close beta test. Guoba was originally like a black and white panda.
Wait, why would they change that? I want to be running around 2 Guobas, the fuck?
They had to nerf her. I believe she also had 60 costs in one of the betas. I don't know.
The 5-star Xianyun.
Maybe we'll get it.
Arlecchino?
Yeah, Arlecchino. Nah, I think Arlecchino is more likely some kind of on-field pyro DPS, because everyone's a fucking on-field DPS, though. Either that, or they exist to buff old characters. So the fun...
Well, we're getting 2 off-field characters in a row.
HOYO could do the funniest thing ever. Arlecchino is a 5-star Klee support.
But why?
And this is a Chiori reference.
Oh.
This
is a Chiori reference.
We're kind of in this trend of, hey, let's buff our back catalog with our new characters. Chevreuse is primarily for Uemiya, Raiden, technically Lenny.
Well, let's be honest. Itto is way cooler than Navia, so...
True! Ushi clears.
Don't cook.
I remember considering pulling for Itto just because of Ushi. He's so cute.
He looks... His design, especially from the back, is awesome.
I like Itto.
From the back?
Okay.
Are you complimenting his ass? You know, it's the biggest Genshin impact, scientifically measured.
It looks like Jiraiya from the...
He does, yeah.
Or does Jiraiya... Or are they both inspired by Japanese folklore?
Yeah, another thing, they're also buffing old weapons. We have Festering Desire being good, Oathsworn as well. So, well, other event weapons have been just left in the dust.
I think that's more of a coincidence, but...
But still. I think we have, what was the bow? Windbloom Ode?
Windbloom Ode.
Is there any way that becomes viable?
It's the Venti bow. It gives you EM and attack. There's...
It's curses that's kind of always going to be worse than using Stringless.
There's the luxurious Sea Lord. They should make a character whose best style weapon is the big fish.
What does the luxurious Sea Lord even do again?
It gives you elemental burst damage %, and it's an attack main stat.
Yeah, it was... people liked using it on Beidou when it came out.
Yep, or Eula.
Yeah.
I think Claymores have to be like the most unique weapons. We have an axe now, a fish, and then just the standard Claymore designs.
Hey, there's a fish bow.
Or I guess Catalyst.
There's a fish bow. It's just terrible.
Oh my god, there is. It's the fishing reward. Why did they make that?
The rumor is originally Nahida was a bow character or something.
What?
It's the rumor. I don't know. Take it or leave it. Fading Twilight has users. I know you should be a big fan of Fading Twilight, right?
Official weapon.
There you go. Official weapon.
Yeah, because Fischl sometimes has high energy requirements when she's being used as a solo Electro or without C6.
Yep.
In that case, Fading Twilight's quite good.
Mm-hmm.
But Flip, I don't actually know this. Why are you so obsessed over Fischl? Like, why?
Why? She's a cool character. She's fun to play. Electra's my favorite element.
To play?
Yes, Oz is
What do you mean?
the chat.
She's fun to press E.
Yeah, because okay. Let's think about this, right? If you look at Electro teams, most of them are just using Fischl. Fischl is basically the Electro element.
Okay.
So when I want to play Electra, I have to
Play
play Fischl, and because of
debatable.
that, that's why.
He's
What
not-
do you mean debatable?
He's not wrong.
And Fischl's been like my most used character, so
Mm-hmm.
I just have that attachment to her.
That's nice. But
Okay.
why is she worse than Kuki Shinobu?
What? It's like a Poco take. But I mean,
but yeah, you know, back in the day, people played Zhongli Albedo teams. What they really
Mhm.
should have been doing the entire time was Zhongli official teams.
true. Fischl is always better.
Chiori-
Instead of
well,
Ben,
you know,
she
always
likes
was
Ben.
better in those
I'm,
teams.
I am an
Fischl?
original Albedo puller.
I also
and I used to cope
I've seen one.
by saying like Albedo has this small AoE, so it can be better technically. I used to cope this way.
He gives 120 EM.
Like taser teams with Albedo to increase your electrocharge damage.
I actually played both because I played Pike Jungli, and I was driving Fischl, had Albedo, and also I think Chincho. Yeah.
I can tell you what I played in, but into version 1.2. I played Kutsing, Xingqiu, Albedo, Fischl.
The physical Kutsing?
No, Electro.
Okay.
What?
This was in 1.2 of Genshin Impact.
I remember clearing Abyss with like some extremely jank teams. I think I did Hutao, Jingqiu,
Hutao was not in
Beidou, and
1.2.
Sucrose.
Hutao was in 1.3.
Oh, no, when I cleared Abyss
Okay.
in 1.3. So Hutao, Jingqiu, Beidou, and Sucrose, I think. That was my team.
Nice. Well, I think my other side, I think I did Melt Ganyu with Venti. Bennett, Shangwing, Ganyu. And,
You actually played real teams.
kind of. Maybe.
Kind of.
I 36 starred Abyss in version 1.1. Yeah, I cleared Abyss in 1.0, but I didn't 36 star until the second layout.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have Venti?
Yes.
That's when I five star too, and I remember that the Razor was a big help because of the Fajui.
What was that one Abyss 11 tube? I think people were using Ningguang to block the archers from shooting your totem.
Yeah. There was an even more aggravating defense objective on floor 12, but barely anyone saw it, which was the two cryo mages at the end. Basically, there were two cryo mages. If you didn't aggro both of them, one of them would teleport to the objective, put down the mist, and literally one-shot it.
Dude, 1.0 strats were you actually have to use your brain. Now everything just does damage.
Well, I mean, if they put that defense objective on floor 11 today, it would still be a problem.
I think people would just immediately aggro with like Kazuha or something,
Maybe.
or they would just be able to clear elemental checks a lot faster. Because it's a cryo shield.
Yeah.
Just get Bennett, Zhongli, and Kazuha. It would shred it immediately.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, do we want to talk about one of the main topics? Like,
yeah.
I keep trying to transition to it.
yeah, I just decided to do it abruptly. So.
Yeah,
So
Xianyun.
Zhonyan.
Xianyun, I thought we were talking about Chiori. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Okay.
Xianyun, she's good. I like
she's
her.
very good.
Yeah.
At first, I had a very bad time with plunging. And
I heard.
Primarily thanks to Mr. Tulpa. It's
Oh.
so frustrating. Getting stuck under enemy hitboxes. It's so aggravating. The point of this character is to plunge. What does plunging do? Plunging is jank. Plunging gets you killed. Plunging doesn't work half the time.
Okay, I actually have an opposite experience depending on the enemy. Because if you're fighting if you're fighting the Rune Drake, you can jump and then you'll just plunge into his wing and just not get your plunge at all. It's brutal. But I find that plunging is actually very good defensive utility.
I find
if
it's awful defensive utility. He's
Really? 'Cause-
literally stuck in place.
No, because if you're using if you're using a Claymore character and you're dash canceling and also plunging, it's very hard to get hit or staggered, from what I've experienced.
It's very easy to get hit going up. It's staggered. When you are in the air, you have okay. So you are uninterruptible during plunges, so you're correct about that. But you actually have a less hit resistance going up than if you were on the ground. So if you get hit in
That
the
is
air,
what sucks.
you get set flying.
But at least you have Xianyun's skill. You can just do 3 steps and get back.
You can just swap off your DPS.
Yeah. No, because you have to do that in some cases, like Weena, because he's scripted to go halfway across the map from you.
You get hit by Weena hit? Wow, jumping really is that
What?
bad.
You know it?
No,
Wow,
I've, like,
how
never
do you
been
get
hit by
Marina?
Weena.
No, he has so many. What?
No, I've, like,
He has so
never been
many
hit by him.
attacks. No.
literally just a moving damage sponge.
You guys cannot be doing this to me.
Like, actually, how do you get hit on the Weena?
Typical Fischl player, man.
Okay.
Fischl's very good against the Weena, by the way. Arrows and the summon knocking down pretty consistently. It's really nice.
I like Hulon the best because you can also dash. Any character that has good mobility.
Wow, I set him up for a compliment. He didn't take it.
Personally, I really like Xianyun. She's pretty much exactly what I expected. She is a damage ceiling raiser for a series of character, like Xiao in most situations, Diluc of course, Gaming, and she is very competitive on characters like Hudao, Priestley as well, and also a ceiling raiser for all of those characters that didn't have a typically good on-field playstyle, but they now can play in those kind of meme teams that when you actually play them, they don't feel like meme teams because they're doing real damage. So she's really fun to try to experiment with. And also, if we're not talking speedrun stuff, like just general play, she feels great in the meta to me.
I don't even know if I would call like the vape teams meme teams because they're actually quite strong.
No, I think they're
Yeah,
memes.
that's what it is.
No, I think they're...
No, stop.
They're really funny memes. The fact that you can go like, oh, Diluc is so good. Oh, look, our Tahito's got the exact same plunge. Look, it's exactly the same. Like, it's exactly...
No, that's extremely funny, but it actually clears well. That's the thing.
I think it's the definition of a meme team.
Uh,
They're
I have
memes. I like it.
my Discord moderator that has a Constellation 6 Ayato playing Plunge Vape Ayato. So Plunge Vape Ayato with Pyro Infusion. So
I've been really liking Eula. Eula Plunge.
Is this a zero stack burst or just never burst?
You just never burst.
better than a Yula Hyperbloom.
You know,
Yes, better.
what
It
do you-
hits more than one enemy.
what do you think about takes that Pyro Xiao is better than Animo Xiao?
If
I
you don't
think
have Constellation 6 Farazan, can be, I guess.
I don't think it's
guess.
true.
But I
only
think
8 punches.
we were talking about the Zajev run, right?
No,
I think it's also build dependent.
I'm actually talking about general public perception.
That's where I saw it. Like it's
Okay.
the Zajev tried the Pyro Shao and then Anima Shao, and the Pyro Shao cleared faster
Nice.
than the PMA, and so that's where the thing started from. And I think it's also build dependent, but I can see this happening if you don't have a Constellation 6 Pharaohs, and in some situations, I guess.
Yeah.
It was only because PME has like a really tight window as well. So you have to down it very quickly, and then since
Yeah.
the Vape Shell had a higher had a higher multiplier, like damage per screenshot plunge, it cleared faster. But
Damage per screenshot plunge when your entire team's damage is the plunge. It's just higher damage.
no, but Zhao does plunge. No, Zhao plunges more on his Onmo teams.
He plunges 4
Compared to the
times
8.
more with half the damage, yes.
Yeah.
Well, those last 4 plunges do half the damage because of Xianyun moment. But yes.
The more interesting part is that I've seen people clear faster in some situations with Bennett instead of Xianyun on Shao teams. Like the
Yeah.
first side of the current Abyss.
Like Current Abyss.
Like they played Bennett, Farazan, and Furina, and it cleared faster for them.
Yeah. Because Xianyun only buffs the shockwave against one enemy. Which,
Mhm.
while it's higher against one enemy, I can see the argument of, yeah, but it's not as consistent because you need the AoE, this abyss, yada yada. I tend to value that kind single target damage a lot more than multi-target or AoE. But the fact that it is fixed single target is more problematic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That being said, if you just do enough more damage, suddenly it's not a problem.
Yeah, I can see the argument if you're like trying to get the fastest run possible, but for general play, I think Xianyun just feels better than Bennett because I don't really like Bennett with Xiao. Like even
Also
in
nerfs
gameplay
critical
way,
impact.
just feels more flexible and mobile with Xianyun in terms of Bennett instead of Bennett.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I do want to take a moment. Xianyun, real good overworld character, especially if you pull C1.
Yeah.
It's real nice.
You can glide
Yeah.
between each one of her jumps as well.
You know?
It feels better than something like Yelan's elemental skill.
I
for
believe
sure.
she moves faster than Yellow and Wanderer.
Yeah, but aside from that, like it just feels better because of the vertical mobility you get.
I mentioned how I pulled C2. Fun. Did you know C2 makes her butt glow?
Yeah.
Did you know,
know.
people actually go and ask, how did you get your Xianyun to glow? Okay, I'm going to go pull that right now. It's an interaction I've had 3 times.
While pulling during the boycott, how dare you?
What boycott? What are you talking about?
Wait, do you not know about it?
No.
Or you don't know about the boycott?
No.
Jason pretty much lives in a bunker.
So, okay, basically, because of the 3 polls that they got on the CN stream, people were making like this massive hashtag on boycott Genshin, and like a bunch of creators who are posting Xianyun videos are getting harassed in their comments for pulling for Xianyun.
Lamau.
It's so ridiculous.
You know what?
Wait! I posted drama chart in the group chat.
Here's
Look at it, Jason.
Here's the thing about
It's so ridiculous.
Here's the thing about three polls. It's the same controversy every year, every season.
Yeah.
I don't get how people are not tired of
We
this.
just had Genshin's anniversary. It was the exact same thing. Eventually, they crack and give everyone 60 resin for like every day.
Yeah. And I actually made a specific video, dedicated video about it. Like I wasn't planning on it, but I did. And one of the things I said is that Genshin is this game that is so stable in terms of revenue that they don't need to change, and they may give in and like give us 5-10 polls if we complain a lot, but they're not changing the rewards long term because that's just unrealistic. Because of the place Genshin is in terms of monthly revenue, it's just so absurdly high that they're not changing it.
I wouldn't even talk about revenue. I'd actually just talk about the size of its player base.
Yeah, that they're kind of related in a way.
They are related, but the thing that Genshin does especially well is how large its player base is. And also, it has this thing called the micro transactions where they get you to buy Battle Pass, they get you to buy Welkin. If everyone spends $10, it can easily be competitive with that one guy spending thousands.
Yeah,
the fact that you didn't even know there was a boycott kind of just speaks volumes to how.
And another thing is that the big spenders, like the one that really move the needle in terms of how much they spend, they don't really care about how much free pulls we get. So, like, if you don't get them to boycott, and they're not going to boycott because they don't care, like, it's impossible.
Okay, people buying Battle Pass, people buying Welkin, that is one of the things that makes Genshin as big as it is. So that absolutely does shake their foundation. That being said, a boycott on Twitter. I'm sorry, X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, is not representative of the entire community.
Yeah, it's a few dozens of thousands of people at most, which is very, very little in the big scope of things.
The thing I just think is fucked up is harassing content creators over pulling a character. I think that's ridiculous.
How dare
Mm.
someone have a job?
Right, I think that's just actually mentally insane.
Yeah, I think some people, like most content creators, just it's a bit harsh to say, but they just don't care enough about the rewards in a game to
I
buy
don't.
into this.
I actually
And,
don't. You know my official stance on this. They have the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever and give everyone a free Chi-Chi. They should do it.
Ooh, the reward
Everyone
we need.
spams the Chi-Chi emote and protest because they're asking for a free Chi-Chi. They should just give in.
Yeah, just as good as Doctor Ratio.
Like, actually, just give everyone a free Chi-Chi. It would be the funniest thing ever. It's the same as getting no reward, and people would be like, "It's a free 5-star." It's a
I actually don't even have a Chi-Chi, so that would complete my cryo collection.
you know, you say this, but I think a free Daya back in the day would have been very fitting. But
that was a year ago.
yeah, back in the day, like when she came out,
Yeah.
would have been quite fitting. But they don't need to again.
But actually, give everyone a free Chi-Chi. Do it.
I still don't have Daya, by the way.
Speaking of Miss Groover, or the Groovester, hey, do you know Chiori is marking Dia's anniversary?
The new
Yeah.
4.5 character.
New 4.5 character just dropped. Did you know there is no Geo character or Inazuman character on Standard Banner?
I thought about it. Like I think
You know
it's a
what?
possibility. I won't say it, but it's a possibility.
I think it's a possibility as well.
I think it's gonna
yeah.
happen.
Everyone yelling, "Hey, put Albedo on Standard!" All right, let's make a better Albedo so we can put them on
Then put it on
Standard.
standard. Yes,
I
I can honestly see it. Also, the factor weapon isn't part of a weapon series.
I mean, does that matter?
Oh wait, I'm stupid. Never mind. I
She's-
forget I just said that.
She's seen a zoom in.
I take that back. Anyways, but
Series.
speaking of Chiori, how do we feel about her? She's just albedo too.
She is just Albedo too. But she does
Yeah.
1.52 double Albedo's damage, which is great. If you were gonna make it Albedo, this is about the damage they would have to do.
I'm fine with Chiori, really. Like I don't particularly like her, but I'm fine with her. Like in her niche, she's pretty strong.
She's
I don't like her Constellation one at all. Like the way it's designed. Like
you
it's
don't
just
like
something.
45% damage increase in an obvious team.
Yeah, it's just such a slap in the face. Like
That C1 being the way it is, Dia's C1 is very similar.
yeah, but you know the way it's structured, like it makes her work better with Navia specifically, and everybody got Navia, and they were so sure that Chiori was going to work with Navia because they're two Geo characters that are coming out
Back to
in the span of 3 months.
Yeah.
Like putting that side of her in the Constellation one, it's just such a clear bait that I'm really against it.
Yeah, I agree with that. That being said, she is good at C0 and Navia teams. She does enough damage to be relevant and competitive with
Yeah.
Zhongli, which is maybe more a statement about Zhongli and Albedo, that you can do 200k damage and still be viable, but it's still not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I will probably not pull Chiori a Constellation 0 for Navia specifically, for sure.
I think I would recommend it if someone didn't have Zhongli, because they could also get C1 at a later rerun.
I guess.
If
Or
you-
maybe
if
as
you were to
an
opt to
off-goal in a limited
pull-
banner.
If you were to opt to pull Zhongli, the transition for going from Zhongli to C1 Chiori is
Yeah.
more expensive.
And also,
Or
if Chiori's
maybe-
a standard unit regardless, then you'll eventually get
If
one.
she's a standard unit, you'll get it, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to make that joke. Thank you, Flip. Anyway.
Speaking of, actually, I would want to talk about her 5-star weapon. I had it being 2.7% better than Spindle on Albedo. Everyone expected it to be like this gigantic, oh my god, Albedo, look at how much damage he's getting from this 5-star weapon. He finally has a 5-star weapon.
Spindle's already like pretty good though for albedo.
The problem is it's not available. Yes. But at least you do have a
That
5-star
too.
weapon alternative to Spindle if you missed Spindle.
Yeah.
I mean,
The free event weapon.
Yeah, the thing is, Spindle is just like so tailor-made for Albedo that it's very good for him. So it's maybe disappointing, but I'm not surprised. It's pretty great for Chiori though. And I think her damage on the mono Geo teams can be relevant enough that it's a pretty significant damage per rotation increase.
yeah, that's fair. Specifically for Chiori, the competition is also Spindle, but it is Harbinger of Dawn and Wolffang. I don't like how inconsistent Spindle seems like it'll be for her.
Yeah, I'm assuming the worst. Like
Yeah.
five
Five.
elemental skill hits buffed by Spindle.
I think you'll get a little bit more than that, maybe if you're lucky, but it's hard to assume. Especially because of the hurt construct mechanics. I do have some information about that. Did you know her C1 is a 0% damage increase on an Itto team? Because once her second puppet is summoned, it cannot be resummoned.
Yeah. That's what makes it very bad to me. Like, it's just so specific for Navia players.
It's just a Navia constellation, yeah.
They really should have just either just had the puppet replace when a new construct is summoned, or something like that. So at least the C1 would have a usage for like a little bit of extra uptime instead of doing actually nothing.
Yeah, it's just pretty bad.
It's odd. Also, her overworld movement speed does not stack with Dia Rosaria. You can only have one of them in the team, and hers is unconditional.
This is outrageous.
It's actually outrageous.
This is a drama, man.
I'm so
Screw three witches. This is the real drama.
You want to know why, by the way? Well, not why, but part of why. In her ability tags in the data mine, she literally is Dia. Dia's E skill is copy paste, not E skill. Her adventure mechanic is copy pasted, and just the conditional is changed.
But by the way, do you think the defense snapshot is a bug?
Yes, it's the same bug that happened with Furina,
Yeah.
except Furina
That's the same
originally
thing I thought.
Furina snapshot everything, and then they fixed that, but there was an unintended interaction that still made it snapshot HP.
Yeah.
And then they fixed that with a workaround. Chiori skipped phase 1. From every data miner I've spoken to, they tell me, yeah, we don't think it's intended. She is supposed to be the source for the attacks, not the puppets. There's just an unintended interaction, much like Furina.
Yeah.
They implemented a workaround for Furina, which they did not do for Chiori.
Speaking of which, what do you think? She's getting changed tomorrow, right? What do you think they'll change about her?
If she gets changed tomorrow, panic. It is Chinese New Year. They are supposed to be on break.
Oh,
the update already dropped actually.
Oh no.
V2, it's V2, but only text change.
Okay. I was gonna. If there is an actual change in Chinese, actually panic. Do not let them cook. The interns are in the kitchen. Do not let bro cook.
Yeah,
Also,
they anticipated it.
am I insane or her animation's unfinished? Like
They
her
are
puppet
unfinished. She is
they are.
unfinished.
Yeah, they look very scuffed.
But yeah,
Someone said it's because of how much work they put into Xianyun that they were on crunch for Chiori.
Xianyun had a lot of her work abandoned. Like instead of trying to make the Triple E better, they just said, "Fuck it, you don't have to do it anymore."
I mean, one of the developers in the stream, like the little camera talk they did of the offices of HOYO, literally said, "Please don't make us work on New Year, please." So maybe that's what happened.
But
I felt so bad for them when they were talking about Xianyun. It was like they were held at gunpoint or something. Just finish this character.
get it out the door so you can go on vacation. Go. So yeah,
And also, wait, actually, her 2E and 3E actually does have an inward radius instead of outward like plunges normally do. So technically, she has grouping, but it's kind of cope.
yeah, whatever. I think them changing, not needing to do the Triple E in combat, actual big brain move. Good job, fantastic. This character would be awful if you had to. I'm so glad they changed it.
Also 5 particles is a lot.
10 particles with C1.
Huh. And it's guaranteed 5, which I really like.
Yep. It's great. Meanwhile, Navia, 50-50, 3-4. Thanks, Navia. Thanks.
Can they just stop giving characters random particles? It makes calculating energy requirements such a pain in the ass.
Well, it doesn't. It makes understanding them a pain in the ass. Because people just go, oh yeah, I surely will always get lucky. What do you mean Bennett doesn't generate 3 particles every ECL?
I'm just so satisfied that she came out good, because I had to fight with my nails trying to prove in pre-release to my viewers that she was actually fine and good and would feel pretty nice, and people would just not believe it. So
really,
this is just
plunging is good, I promise.
Plunging is not good. Xianyun is good.
Wow. I mean, I think plunging is good, just because
That's
high multiplier, AoE.
Hers is not AoE.
No, plunges in general being AoE, because if you're playing like a Hutao team, you get the AoE from the plunge.
Yeah. For the Hutao team, it speaks more to a lack of options than Xianyun, if anything.
That's fair. Yeah.
It reflects more on how bad Jean is.
Speaking of which, Raiden double Hydra with Xianyun instead of Jean so you can hold TTDS.
Yep.
By the way, do you think
Jean is that bad?
It's an upgrade? This one, Tristan, do you think it's an actual upgrade for Hutao, this Xianyun team?
I don't like jumping, but probably yes. Jean is very bad.
Yeah, because I saw some debates about it, between Hutao mains. I think it's interesting how it lowers the value of the Constellation one.
It's only if you play Furina is the thing. Not everyone wants to play Furina, and if you don't play Furina, Xianyun is actively just bad. It is very important to have that distinction with Furina and without Furina, because it changes your team building.
Yeah, but I think it's fair for a healer to benefit from Furina so much. But for the same reason, I hope we don't get many more healers, because it's just kind of boring.
I would like one for characters who are on the ground and already have established gameplay on the ground. It's cool for Xianyun to give characters like Diluc a new identity, because he didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
I would like a healer that kind of doesn't force you to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I guess the problem with having more healers is that, okay, who gets my Furina now? Which sucks.
Well, that actually... So, Chiori is not a healer.
Yeah.
I think that... Originally, I was kind of yeah, every team should play Furina, but you only get one Furina. It's fine to not it's not fine to not sell a Furina enabler for everything.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would have liked Chiori to have its own identity on teams, and she does have that on Mono Geo. Unlucky it's not for Nami.
Well, she stole someone's identity.
Yeah.
Sus. The third albino.
The third?
Okay. That's
the event quest.
Yeah. But I like Chiori being a sub DPS more than her being a healer.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Itto a lot. I like Itto gameplay.
I think people are underestimating the idea of Itto.
I might play Itto on stream more than a lot of other or more than most Genshin streamers. He's cool. I'm happy with Chiori for him. For reference, she's going to be dealing about 700k damage for me off field. Mm-hmm. So that's a really sizable damage thing.
Yeah, I think people underestimate how much of a number one issue Albedo is for these teams, and they're going to be surprised of how much better the team feels with an actual great sub DPS. you have this team with Itto, like that has a pretty nice AoE. It's immortal, you're immune to interruption resistance, and you're pretty consistently doing 60,000 damage per rotation, like DPS in per rotation, a free-to-play investment. I think it's going to be great.
Free-to-play investment and Itto Wanderer characters don't really fit in the same sentence. It's
Because
a
of
lot.
Goro?
Just because of the sheer amount of pulls it takes to get them off the ground. I
Mm-hmm.
find it very hard to like grasp that. They can be. You just need to set aside 300-400 wishes for everything. Because you do have to pull Itto himself, and you got to get C6 Goro, so you might be going for C2 on Itto. And then you got to pull Chiori, and then you got to pull Redhorn Stone Thresher. And if you missed Spindle, you might want Chiori's 5-star weapon. It's a lot.
How about if you just get Itto in 75 pulls, and also a C6 Goro in every single pull?
It's true.
Just
do
luck
that.
max. Just simply just do that. Yes.
I agree, but I guess the point I was making is just that people are underestimating how much of an upgrade this is for Itto to me. Like it's
Yeah.
going to feel considerably better.
If you are used to mono Geo, it's going to feel considerably better. I've always been an advocate for playing Hydro characters, specifically Yelan, Jingcho, Furina, and doing with Zhongli. And is she an upgrade over Zhongli? Yes. And that's why I'm happy with it. But also, there are technically better Itto teams depending on your resin and your Primo Gem investment in the character. The more damage you get, the more damage your Itto does proportionally to Albedo, the easier it is to just ditch him.
Yeah.
Things like Yelan, A4 adapt with ease, or Furina's minimal amounts of fanfare that you get from C4 Goro's healing outscale Albedo.
Yeah, for sure.
But I am excited. I am happy to play Chiori there. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, if she strongly enabled that niche without having that kind of scummy Constellation one, I would have been totally fine with her. Like, I'm totally fine with her enabling this type of niche because they needed it. And I just don't like the Constellation one.
Are there?
It's not too late. They could switch out that def for EM, change construct to core. Suddenly, you got a really good Dendro character. It's not too late.
Just make her Dendro, yes.
Sure.
On that topic, though, do you think are there any other Constellation ones you don't like because of the amount of quality of life it gives?
Originally, Dia. I don't think it's fair to complain about Constellation ones on uniformly when they're significant damage increases. This was an argument that I was had back in 4.1, where people were like, "You need Riesli C1." I'm like,
With Hutao?
"No, Riesli C1."
Oh,
And I'm like, if you let C1 literally adds more damage and is just as important for quality of life, arguably more so.
Yeah, they've been doing this much more, where they add quality of life in Constellations, and I think the reason they do this because it's just more noticeable for casual players to have compared to 30% damage bonus. I actually made a video on this today, but I think they found this way to make it Constellations feel more important, like not even in terms of damage increase, but feel more important because they add something that you can see, the casual player can see.
Yeah.
if you look at something like Nahida C1, like some people will read it and be like, okay, but what the fuck does this do?
It doesn't do
Whereas
much. You get 19 damage percent, 5-second uptime
Yeah.
from a burst. It's about that.
Whereas with these other Constellations, it's like, oh, my Nuvolet gets staggered less, I can feel that and I can notice that.
Oh my!
And it also gives me a damage increase.
Also, you get an extra 24, 28 percent damage increase.
It's when
Something
I forgot.
like that.
Yeah, but
But
in the case of Nahida, it's still just a damage increase that is very considerable, but probably most players aren't gonna care that much. Like I think most players would rather have full interruption resistance on every character because it just feels better than a 20% damage increase, and that's what Nubilet gets, for example, and it's noticeable, and he also gets that kind of damage on top, so it's just a very
but kind of certainly. I don't like complaining about C1s unless you're going to be consistent about it. So regarding Chiori C1, she's very good at C0, even in Navia teams. It's not that big of a deal. You don't need it. She's still very good.
I think she's good in her niche, and she's good on Navia teams because she competes with the best options. So technically, she is great, but just probably wouldn't pull for Navia, as I said earlier.
Right. How do you feel about her 5-star weapon versus Harbinger? Or how do you feel about Harbinger of Dawn, I guess I should say? Maybe not about her 5-star weapon.
I think I had it like 15% below the signature.
Yeah, that's about right. I think that's what I had.
So Harbinger of Dawn, it's good. Like it's not a big of a gap if we're talking signatures versus best 4-star or 3-star options. So it's pretty nice.
Yep. There's also she can use Primordial Jade Cutter. Actually, we didn't even talk about dual scaling. What do you think about dual scaling attack and death?
I feel like people are bitching about it too much.
Yeah, me too.
It makes me laugh because I called it split scaling in my video. Because
you
in
played
my head,
yourself.
In my head, it's just the direct translation from Italian. Like you split the scaling between defense and attacks. For me, it's the same thing. Like dual scaling, split scaling. I meant that, but I got pretty angry comments about that. Like you have to say dual scaling. I get it. I would say dual scaling, but I meant the same thing.
Semantics. It's semantics.
It's the semantics, but okay. Examples of traditional. I'm going to use quotation marks here. Split scaling is Albedo's elemental skill only does def damage. Albedo's elemental burst only does attack damage. When you build Albedo, you make an active choice which damage source to prioritize. You can either build for his E skill or his burst. You cannot build for both. That's what split scaling is.
And I don't mind it on Chiori because the defense scaling is pretty considerable, and you also get attack scaling that allows you to benefit from buffs like Noblesse, Bennett with the burst. Like I don't mind it.
Yeah. Her damage is primarily def.
And people don't realize that most characters are dual scaling anyways. Like if you look at Zhangling, one of the reasons why it's so easy to get RFX for her is because she uses almost every single offensive stat.
Actually, the example I was going to use is Itto. Itto converts his def into attack, but Chiori just uses her def and attack functionally.
Yeah.
So let's say Itto has 5,000 attack. That's essentially the same as Chiori having 1,500 attack and 2,500 def.
Yeah, they may benefit from attack equally. Yeah, I remember that now that you make me think about it.
So yeah, I don't know why people are complaining about it. Like, what do I build? Defense or attack? Like,
you just build
the one that scales harder, yes, which is def in this case.
Well, it's actually always going to be def, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Def artifacts or def stats are higher than your attack stats. Def main stats literally give you more stat.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy equation to make.
Yeah, which is very funny because HP is the same as attack. They were like, def needs a little help, boost it up. This was in beta. But the only def scaling character is Noelle.
She also can work with Noelle, true. Like, I forgot about that.
What team?
No constructs though.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm asking what team.
I guess double Geo Noelle with Furina and someone else.
You can't do that. You'd have to play Zhongli or Albedo. You can't use Goro.
Yeah,
Noelle, Chiori.
No, wait, yeah. Noelle, Albedo, Chiori, and Furina.
Yeah. Albedo with no Goro aware about that damage.
Okay, wait, hold on. Noelle, Noelle, Goro, Chiori, and then Albedo. Just
Here.
4 Geo.
Here, Fleb, I'm gonna send you a calc I did. What do you think about this? Here's Albedo's no Goro damage.
Well, you have Furina buffs though. You can deal like with Furina's buffs at least 170,000 damage per rotation, and that's insane.
It's quite sad. It's quite the biggest problem with the idea of, hey, Albedo and Chiori are the same things. You can do Albedo plus Chiori, just like Yell and Jingcho, or just like DMC Cole, or Kaya Rosaria. Albedo just actually does like half her damage. Well, not exactly half.
He now has utility because Construct is now utility to make Chiori
He
deal
has
more
the
damage.
utility for the construct, yes, and that's
So
like,
yeah,
the furthest
he's
he gets.
now his that is now his biggest trait.
The
Imagine if
thing,
Goro was a construct.
yeah, the thing is, Albedo is kind of very dependent on Goro for his damage. Albedo, he doesn't really do damage without Goro in a significant way. And
Yeah,
the problem
Goro-
with that
Goro-
is when 3 units in your team are fixed, you can only be wheel shielded so hard. You run out of slots
Go-
and eventually get kicked out of
Goro-
your own team.
Goro pushed Albedo to be an average sub DPS.
The problem is
That
that's
sounds so mean.
it's a 3-unit fixed team, and the only character you're gonna slot into Goro, Chiori, Albedo is Itto or Noelle.
Geo main character.
Sure, Chiori C6 Pog. You know, Chiori C6 does not require you to do Geo damage.
Oh really?
It does buff Pyro Chiori.
Damn.
Pyro Chiori Vape Plunge.
Yes. You get def scaling on your plunges.
But that's fair
Let's
because
go.
if you get a Constellation 6, you should be allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. So.
Yeah, it's like Kazuha's. The infusion is overridable. Which is pretty fun. Is the Geo Construct bonus free damage for Chiori or something important for her? Yes and yes. It is important, and it is also technically free. That being said, it's 45% damage increase from having a construct present or pulling her C1.
Mhm.
So it could be interpreted both ways. She is good without the second construct, but it could go either way.
Hmm.
Without the second construct, she is around Albedo with Goro level.
Yeah, Albedo with Goro, without Goro. Because you can also play Goro with her. Yeah, about. And she does currently snapshot def. I think that will be changed. That will be fixed.
Yeah.
But they're going to nerf Chiori. I can't wait to see the reaction.
Do you think so?
They're going to fix that, yes. It's unintended.
Oh wow.
I'm making a
Yeah,
joke.
and that's why whoever I talk to, I'm telling them, look, it's a bug probably. So
Well, it's not a bug as much as it's an unintended interaction, so it's a feature. They can choose not to fix the feature.
I think it doesn't really even work well with her signature since it gives defense after something. I
No,
guess.
the defense I believe is unconditional.
Oh.
It just says gives defense in the last sentence.
Oh yeah. True.
And she's not snapshotting damage percent, so. Odge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about the C1. What do you think about forced switch out mechanics?
I think it's funny because now you would have to care about where you put Chiori on your team. Like that's interesting, I guess.
I think it's
It's also
stupid.
interesting where you that you can switch mid-air. I guess that's new.
For reference, if anyone's not aware of what I'm talking about, Chiori, you use her E skill. She has Alhatham's E skill, except she can't do E skill low plunge, which is bruh moment. Anyway, when you need to press her E skill twice, she switches to the next character in your lineup and applies a buff that does about, is it a third of her damage? Even with...
somebody asked me if Chiori can do it, why can't Alhatham? And I was like, why would Alhatham want to switch after the elemental skill?
Yeah. She switches even when she's in the air, by the way. That's awesome. That's useless, but that's awesome.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of forcing switching, because then you actually have to care about your party order. I just like, this is a thing that we've never had to care about before.
It's also a very different mechanic in the sense that if you don't do the forced switch, you lose a ton of her damage.
Yeah, it's just weird. Why don't just make it so when you switch to the next character, then you will get it? I don't know.
If you were to manually switch, it would apply the other effect of her Ascension 1 passive. Or if you were to wait, it would automatically apply the other part of her Ascension 1 passive, which is the Geo infusion for her normal attacks, which is an odd choice to default to. I worry that someone's going to EQE, wait 1 second, and be like, wait, where are my coordinated attacks? Why am I doing Geo damage? Wait.
And also, apparently I ordered my party weirdly.
I think it's an interesting feature, but the fact that it's just a simple swap after that, like, it makes it less interesting, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, if it had something unique, like it doesn't count as a swap, so it doesn't have swap cooldown.
It shouldn't have swap cooldown, no. Which is nice.
Oh, doesn't?
It shouldn't, no.
I think I saw it.
Oh, does it? I don't know.
If it has swap cooldown, then
that would make it really awkward if it's subject to swap cooldown, because you can't instantly come in EE. Well, her reanimation's kind of long, but you get what I mean. But that's why it's kind of awkward then. I just don't like that it's mandatory. I think if you swapped out instead of if you swapped out without doing a normal attack, I wish it would apply the effect.
I think it's just HOYOverse finding a way to make this thing more complicated, like look more complicated than it actually is. Like,
yeah. It's interesting. I think I do like it that she has the baton pass mechanic. I think it's cool that party order is gonna matter.
Can't wait for Pokemon to copyright strike them.
True. Have you seen Chiori's hair literally is 1-to-1 proportionally similar to Primarina?
Are you being serious?
I'm making a sarcastic joke. Have you seen Chiori's doll next to Superior? Visually identical. Listen, no. This is a funny joke, I swear. It's a funny joke. Palworld, good game, by the way.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Because I've seen you've been playing Palworld, and then the whole controversy around it is...
It's a controversy.
It's
a joke. That's why I'm making fun of it. How dare Pokemon have cartoon animals?
This is outrageous.
Nintendo literally owns cartoon-styled animals.
I still have to play that game, by the way.
Oh, you missed your chance. No, I'm kidding. It's fun.
It's not going to be fun anymore if I play him one
No, it'll still be fun. No, it'll still.
Like, what is it about?
What is it about? It doesn't have a story.
No. Like, I know what is it about, but why can't I have fun later?
No, I'm making the joke that people had more fun, or like, okay, it's a thing. Like, there's the social media movement, and there's the community. Like, oh my god, I can't the laughing about the drama or controversy. It is one of those things where it was a moment in time, or it is a moment in time.
But even though I don't play it, whenever I see the word PAL now, I just instinctively think of that game. So
it is a gigantic indie success story.
Yeah.
which is awesome. I love small indie games taking off.
I saw some controversy about
Genshin
the
Impact.
art of the game being AI potentially.
It's
but,
really, those tools didn't exist in the capacity they do today 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when the game was in development.
My favorite indie game right now is Genshin Impact.
You know, Genshin Impact was a project from a very small studio.
Yeah. Coming off of what they made from Honkai Impact.
Yep. And look at where they are now. I think it's awesome.
Me too.
They're funneling all that money back into Honkai with the Honkai spinoff and Honkai Impact 3 too.
Yeah, but like they give us 3 wishes, so I kind of want to boycott the game now.
Small indie company.
Yeah, they're ambitious. They're ambitious for sure. I wonder where they'll be in 10 years.
Honkai
think
Impact
they-
3-3.
They will expand a lot. Like I think they're looking into virtual reality.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually very annoyed with like their naming. Because like first of all, why is it called Honkai Impact the Third? Where's Honkai Impact the Second? Where's
It's an
Honkai Impact the First?
It's an Evangelion reference.
Are you being
I'm 100% for real. It's an
Oh my
Evangelion reference. That's
God.
what it is.
Yeah, okay, not only that, so we get that, we have Honkai. So you have Honkai Impact the Third, you shorten that down, you call that Honkai, right?
Dway is a huge weeb. It's actually like an Evangelion reference.
Right. And then they make Genshin Impact. Okay, let's take away the Impact again, we only call it Genshin. Then they make Honkai Star Rail.
That one is odd.
But now, when you say Honkai, that has 2 definitions, either Honkai Impact or Honkai Star Rail. So now everyone just calls it Star Rail, which is very
Also,
awkward.
there's the third game, Zenless Zone Zero, also known as Sleepy.
ZZZ, yes.
Z's nuts.
yeah, and it's cool they're expanding, but at the same time, I'm not sure it's the right move to expand too much because, for example, Riot is an example of a company that made a huge success with League of Legends, and they expanded a lot with a lot of different games.
And
But
they're all
they're now in
failures.
they are now in a situation where they had to fire part of the company and basically say, "Oh, we're just going to focus on our main games that actually make revenue."
Yeah, that's I don't get why they're making so many games.
There's the idea of cannibalizing your audience. You spread your audience too thin.
Yeah, because they're all gacha games as well.
They're all gacha games, and they're all very similar. Specifically, Z's and Honkai Impact Third 2 are very similar.
If I were HOYOverse, I would just keep the 3. Go ahead.
In that sense, I think like the fact that when they released Honkai, they had this dead period in Genshin to clearly motivate the community to also try Star Rail. They incentivized this thing.
What are
where
you trying to
Genshin
say
players
about
had-
Baiju?
they incentivized this thing where Genshin players tried Star Rail. So like it was done on purpose in a way.
Yes, it was done intentionally. Like they were like,
I hope
"Hey,"
you enjoy the third back-to-back defensive Dendro unit.
Yeah. Baiju moment. What is it? I think that they do know when they're gonna have a slow period, and they know when things are gonna be like inconvenient timing. I would expect a slow period whenever there are triple A games releasing. Chiori is very likely expected to be a slow patch, which is perfectly in time with everyone's enjoying.
The anniversary.
There's University, the Persona 3 remake. There's the Final Fantasy remake too.
Yeah, they're also having a Raiden in Star Rail, which is pretty
Yes, and
significant.
Raiden in Star Rail. Yes. It's called a Dedge patch. Thanks.
So like if I was HOYOverse, I would just be like, okay, we have
Free
these
Chiori.
3 we have these 3 really good gacha games. We have Honkai Impact for like people who are super combat intensive, Genshin for people who are into very open world games, puzzles, stuff like that. And we have Honkai Star Rail, which is like turn-based stuff. I would just stick with those 3 because adding more is just gonna
It's too much.
it's too much. It just dilutes their player base as well.
I don't see a world where Z is as popular.
Neither do I, even though I really like the game's aesthetic.
The name is also asinine, to say the least. Can I describe it as asinine?
What does Zenless mean?
Restless. That has no zen.
And also,
It is
a
not
lot of
feng shui.
ambitious projects. A lot of ambitious projects are coming out now. Like,
Yeah,
Wuthering
like
Waves.
Wuwa. Yes,
Untitled.
Wuwa.
Tough too.
Aren't they also releasing Honkai Impact Third Part 2 or something? What was that?
Yes, Honkai Impact
Like,
Third
what?
Part 2. Which,
But honestly, I think that makes sense to like reinvent and get people more hyped for Honkai Impact.
I really do think they should have just folded all of the work they did on Z's into Honkai Impact Third Part 2.
I know.
It's really weird that they're different games.
Yeah, but Honkai
have
is
these
basically
three
their
strong
passion
IPs.
project. Like, it's not the
Yes.
game that makes the most money, but the game they care about, which is pretty funny because it's by far the most pay-to-win one. So they have pretty weird way of expressing love.
Did you know Himiko is Dewey's favorite?
Is that why he kills her every single
Interesting.
game?
That's also why she's always the worst character.
And it's also because why she'll be killed by Capitano in Natlan.
Do you think Himiko's going to be the Pyro Archon?
Yes. There's
She's
no
the
doubt.
Pyro Archon and then she just fucking dies and then it's a new Pyro Archon?
No, I don't. I have no doubt she's the Pyro Archon. This was
The game where she doesn't die.
one point with the remaining two Archons are Himiko and Bronya.
Are you certain?
I am 100% certain about that.
Wait,
Did you not know Genshin CBT won the Tsaritsa Bronya?
oh,
Yeah,
damn.
I just hope they pick the right Bronya though.
Please don't be Haxor Bunny, no.
It'll be Silverwing,
I will like
not Silverwolf.
Silverwing the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silverwing.
I love Silvering so much. Also, can we get a Mobius XP, please? Mobius is the best Honkai Impact Third character.
Who?
You don't know who Mobius is? Wow.
No.
Wow.
Green Fischl, basically.
Green Fischl.
Did she summon a snake instead of a bird?
Yes, precisely.
You have
Imagine Baizu and Fischl combined.
You have a type. It is women who put down things and run away.
Uh-huh. That also Furina too.
Are you
Actually,
saying you want to
maybe
be a
also
single
something.
dad?
I wouldn't mind it. I'm getting called a furry in your chat. I don't feel comfortable anymore.
Weird. We talked about Chiori. We talked about the anniversary. We talked about Xianyun. Xianyun cool, by the way.
Jonin, very cool. I like Lynette Plunge.
Also,
Oh.
speaking of attractive character designs, did they overstep
Lauren.
with Xianyun? Is it too much? How much is too much?
It's not enough. Not far enough.
Not for
I think overall she looks pretty elegant. Like Genshin is pretty tame with making its characters appeal to horny people. Like they're
Xianyun's not subtle or like.
I don't think they can make a more attractive character.
yeah, but I think her attractiveness is in a way elegant. Like that's how I see
Yeah.
it. At least.
Because she's
Who
pretty much
am I
covered
to judge?
everywhere.
Like
She's not really covered
only
up.
stand-
She's not.
No, like the bow tie is.
I only have eyes for Capitan and Barca, so why am I to speak? Like I don't care. Same for Xianyun.
Do
I
you
don't
know
care.
what she would look like if she wasn't wearing a body stocking? If you thought about that.
She would look like peak character design.
Okay.
Also, wait, when she's in the weapon screen and you tilt her to like a slight angle, you know, I feel too degenerate saying this.
She has armpit straps. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like, look! Oh my god.
Her armpits are covered up.
The hip windows as well.
Her
They
back.
peaked.
Her back is just open. I think her ass crack is showing. I think.
How do they manage to put so much sex into a character? It's actually amazing.
All right. Anyway.
Anyways, moving on. So, Chevreuse and Gaming.
Oh yeah, we never talked about Chevreuse here. Do you like
Did we-
Chevreuse?
Oh yeah, we
Didn't we? Oh yeah.
Chevreuse is really good, by the way.
Yeah.
Having played like a couple C6 Chevreuse accounts, one thing I can say for sure, she has like no off-field effects, and it makes it really hard to tell if she does anything. Her
Yeah,
only,
and,
she has like no impact visually.
I'm holding
in that
myself back.
sense, the way she frontals all of her damage, like I've seen pretty cool clips of her elemental skill just destroying Tulpa.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool.
But yeah, I do think the biggest problem is she leaves very little impact.
Genshin impact.
Yes. Something like we laugh about how like obnoxious Furina's bubbles are, right?
Mm-hmm.
The big bubble border.
Yeah.
But at least you can tell Furina's doing something.
Where Chevreuse is just bigger number, but you don't even
Chevreuse is just
notice
bigger
it.
number.
And you know that's the cool thing because she can allow you to apply resistance reduction without doing anything. Like that's cool to me. Like
Yeah, no, I like the effect. Like it's basically just it's free. I like that. I wish there was some kind of graphical thing, but like, hey, this buff is active. Hey, this buff. Shenna has very similar problems.
Maybe when we
Furina
get the shield indicator in 2 years.
Shield indicator.
We need a shield H. It's so hard to tell your shield HP. It's bullshit.
Why do you need to know how much HP your shield has, Flip?
Oh, real? Are we doing this again?
Is it because you're jumping?
You don't play shielders with Xianyun, but I would. It's just good to know.
Yeah, it is. It is just nice.
It's like, oh, we may as well just take away the HP bar as well.
yeah, but is there a reason they aren't adding it? Like
Because they don't
Okay,
want. They aren't going back and changing characters.
the HP bar on for the shields. Were you talking about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a where do you put it thing. I guess you'd put it above your actual HP bar, right?
Yeah.
And have like a second HP bar with the shield number.
That's how enemies hate shield bars are, I think.
Yeah. What I was more suggesting for Chevreuse is, have you played Lenny?
Yes.
Do you know how he has a number?
Yes.
I've seen the numbers. I kinda can't believe the numbers I've seen though.
No, he
Because
He means as in the
the
indicator.
literal
of the
visual
yes.
he has a number that's always next to him, indicating how many stacks of prop surplus
yeah.
he has.
And Nuvolat's weapon also has 4
Nuvolat's
dinghies that
weapon is a
follow him.
lot harder to tell because they float around you, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like the little thing in the corner. More stuff should do this.
Jason, did you know that Line, Chevreuse, Fischl, Bennett is a 100,000 DPS team on the simulator?
Yes.
Oh,
it's
did they
amazing.
get it above 95?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I think it's like
97.486.
Nice. You know, I did tell you to look out for Lenny.
It's actually so
I did
funny.
tell you this was coming. I warned you.
Wait, there's one oh the one with the signature is a one.
I warned you.
110.
I did warn you. You can't say I didn't warn you or I didn't see it coming. I said you should be looking at this.
Notice how the
Yeah.
highest DPS sim has Fischl in it, the best character in Genshin.
The real.
But
How much scam is going on there? Is it 4 or 5 charged attacks in 15 seconds now? 4 charged attacks is burst and Z skill in 15 seconds.
it also has energy issues from the sim as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
that's
5 rotations in 92 seconds.
yes. The funny thing about Chevreuse, she actually generates a shit ton of energy, like more than anyone else in the game. With her
Yeah.
C1 and her just her particle gen. It's 4
she's-
from her E, and you can do that twice per rotation because of the reset.
Wait, am I Does her skill have internal particle cooldown like Farason's?
It does, of 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
But you can do it twice in a 20-second rotation because of the reset, so... she just generates more energy than anyone else. She's like one of the game's best batteries. And, quotation
she's
marks.
just
I
so
hate
good.
the idea of someone playing a character as a battery just for energy, because that's not how you make a good team.
Diona.
Yes.
Remember?
Oh my god.
Chi-Chi and battery your Eula.
But no, most batteries are just synergistic with the character, regardless if they gen them energy or not.
Shenhe generates less energy than Rosaria for Ayaka. Does that make Shenhe worse? Fuck no.
I also think the thing people say energy issues is kind of stupid. Like, characters can have a high energy requirement, but I don't think it makes sense to say they have energy issues.
Yeah, they mean it's an issue to them.
I mean, everyone does. No one wants to build ER on their characters. They just want to
They-
only build crit.
Yeah, but it's like
They,
when
mean they take issue to the requirements. That's what they mean.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like when my Eula doesn't crit 5 resets in a row. I don't say my Eula has crit issues. I just build more
Yes, you
crit.
do. Yes, you do.
No, you just build more crit on your Eula.
I would
think
say I would absolutely say my Eula has a crit issue. I would that is something I would
No, but-
absolutely say. In fact, I say about Honkai Star Rail. Dr. Ratio, he has crit issues. Call him Dr. Crit. Call him.
No, but no one actually has crit issues. You just build more crit on the character.
He gives himself crit rate. You shouldn't have to build more. Why does he never crit? Why does he?
But yeah, I think energy, like saying, "Oh, wait, this character's bad because I have energy issues," is just like such a weird downplay.
I think it is more fair to say, hey, too much of their damage gets tied up in an energy requirement.
Yes.
I think for the most part, like the energy stuff is often pretty nicely balanced.
For who?
In general, like for characters, I think they balance it properly. Like related to the damage they can deal.
Okay.
For the most part.
It ends up being a lot of team comp dependent things. Like there are some teams which have fundamentally higher energy recs for characters than others, and at that point you argue, "Hey, are these teams actually intended to ever be played?"
Bon Marie.
What do you mean you don't like playing Baiju, Xiangling, Furina, Riesling?
An actual energy
I
black
think-
hole.
I think the only real issue that is annoying is when a character can front load the particle generation and the rotation ends abruptly, and then you have physical issues in going into the next rotation.
Practicality issues with your energy economy. I think it's a tremendous problem, and it's one of the biggest problems with circling all the way back to the beginning. I hate Gaming.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my god. You kill the enemy and you end the chamber doing your first plunge, and then you have no energy for the next chamber. Rip.
Yes.
And it's sad because you liked him so much in beta. Like, he looks so cool. He's so
cool. He is so cool.
Yeah, the name.
He looks like he smells bad too.
He has like the best male design.
No, he looks like he smells bad.
What? You can't see.
What?
Look, move 2 characters across. You have Razor. What? Of all the characters, he smells bad.
He looks like he's greasy. I don't know what to tell you, man.
What?
He looks like...
Oh my god.
And also his animation changes when you're in the nighttime.
Yeah, except you're never
Such
in
a
the
cool
night.
character.
Except you're never in the nighttime. I wish it was less sensitive or more sensitive.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like Gumming.
That's nice.
I don't have them, but
my set, I'm running 150 ER, and like it's still not enough for like where I would like to be.
do you have C6? Well, you
Yes, I do have C6.
should. I'm not sure then, because
J Stern in 4.2. Gaming looks great. Best 4-star DPS. 4.3 J Stern. Gaming looks like he smells bad.
Because
I mean, you can
also
be,
just
you can be both simultaneously. I'm not arguing he's not the best force 3 DPS because there aren't a lot of them.
because you're always using with Bennett, so can't you just like funnel at the beginning of chambers? You use Bennett E and then Gaming's
I'd
E.
rather never have to.
This is just massive razor plunge lander. Like just massive.
You know, Freminet has the highest plunge multiplier in the game.
Yeah, but Razor can shred the defense.
True. But Freminet can apply cryo so you can melt.
That does not
Wow.
work against bosses. It's brutal.
It doesn't work against bosses. True.
I remember trying to give Jello rotations, and then every rotation you just you're not able to swirl cryo, or you just.
Actually, speaking of swirling cryo, how do you feel about recently Furina, Xianyun? We kind of brushed over it.
Consider that my favorite team with Grizzly is Grizzly, Furina, Shenling, and Bennett.
Right.
And I don't think the Xianyun variant feels better than that, but it competes with the other Freeze variants, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think it competes with you. I think it is better than all the other freeze variants for recently.
Yeah, probably.
Because you do get to bring Shenhe back, and you get Furina. It's nice.
I was actually kind of more interested in Ridsley's melt teams with plunge, like Risley, Bennett, Zhangling, and Xianyun.
You've run out of team slots. You don't get Furina anymore. It's crap. You're welcome. It's true.
It's still fine, and you get to see funny melt numbers.
Yeah. Pyro Risley would be better.
But unfortunately, Catalyst Brick.
That's why Klee.
I actually haven't looked into any Klee teams.
I haven't either. I'm sure it's exactly the same as every other character, with no difference. No. You get to play Ford Vape Furina. It's pretty nice sometimes. At least you don't lose that much damage if you're not vaping those plunges. What do you think they should do to rectify the drama?
From the Lantern, right?
Yes, from the Lantern, right?
The 3 wishes. Let's go.
I know you haven't followed. I know you haven't followed the community, but the content creator handled that themselves by directing the attention to something else entirely. And I'll stop here.
The content creators took all the drama for themselves. No one cares about the 3 wishes anymore. It was a one-day thing.
It flew over. Hashtag boycott Genshin Impact.
Genshin could do nothing now, and it would still be fine. The community doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
The community only cared because there was nothing else to talk or complain about. But now the CC drama is so massive, and
is
everyone's
anyone
talking
playing
about
the
that.
Persona 3 remake?
No.
No.
Persona 4 though.
Okay.
And just to describe how big it got, yesterday they were streaming on Asmongold stream, so one of the biggest streamers on the platform,
someone in
about
my
Genshin
chat
drama.
said the Simon stream, and I'm like, the boss? Why is someone streaming that?
But no, Asmongold, yeah, it was wasn't it
Isn't
over
that the guy who
100
sells
viewers?
crappy computers?
Is he? I don't know.
Pretty sure he is.
I just know Asmongold is a big streamer, and he's also very dirty, apparently.
Yeah, he's the guy who sells terrible computers.
Aside from that, just to describe how big it got, they were there and the 40,000 live viewers.
Yeah, and even some ordinary gamer tweeted about it.
Good for them. Hey, you guys want to start
It's
drama?
no, it's
I heard that Flip guy likes Fischl a little too much. Did you know Fischl is underage? This Flip guy's a pervert.
it's over for me.
About Flip. Twit longer.
Actually, I want to hear your opinions. Can you look at? Can you bring up the Genshin scientists where I look at my breakfast?
What?
Yeah. Basically, Flip is British and he has this obsession of putting beans over every meal he
beans
has.
beans on toast. Yeah.
It was not. It
looks like
worse than beans on toast.
literally the most disgusting thing.
Show me the picture of your breakfast.
Yeah, I will send it to you.
TGS overreacted.
No.
I actually tried to cancel me on Twitter over it. I was so upset.
Yeah. And it almost worked if it wasn't for the bigger drama.
You know, I'm more upset by the ground beef. Ground beef and chicken wings for breakfast?
Yeah! Look at the hash browns too! Bro, this shit slaps, and
Dude,
it keeps me so energized and full the entire
Dude, this
day.
is a dinner. Dude, this is a dinner. What do you season it with? What do you...
I'm not expanding.
Oh, you didn't season it?
Okay, listen. The beans contain tomato sauce,
The
and if you
beans are
mix
the
in the
seasoning.
if you mix in the beef and the beans, they actually taste very good together because it's like
Do you
the
put it
beef
on
is
top
less
of,
dry.
Do you put it on top of the hash brown?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. You get a pass.
The hash browns were really good though, and you can also like coat the chicken wings in the beans. And
Wait a minute. No. Back up.
what do you mean back up? What?
You can cut the chicken wings.
Consider this though, like Flip sent this image to me completely unwarranted in the DM. we weren't even talking. Like I was minding my stuff, and he had to send to me this jump scare. Like, they also routinely send stuff like this as well, and he must be stopped. Like I had.
Are you really doing live? You first did it on Twitter, now you're doing it
A
live.
baked potato? That's fine. As long as the potato's
See?
cooked. As long as... The potato is hot, right?
Yes, of course.
Then why isn't the cheese melted?
Just ignore that. It's not important.
Did you pull a potato out of your fridge and just put beans on it?
Listen, it's not important.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say British food is superior. If you disagree, you're simply just coping.
I can appreciate like beans with breakfast, sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bean platter. This is a bean.
Don't worry, Flip. When you get cancelled, the fact that you obsess over teenager-looking characters will definitely take precedence.
British version of a garbage plate. It is the British version of a garbage plate. Pasta plus beans, British pasta.
British pasta.
You know, the beans have technically a tomato sauce in them, in your own words.
True. Does this food give credit?
Is this your signature dish? If you were in Genshin, would this be your signature?
Yes.
What's the name?
Oh, I have to think of one. Hyper fridge.
Sure. Are the beans dendrocores? Are the beans... Slop, ain't it? Slop.
What if the Twitter reply? This is what they serve at the Fortress of Mertrapede.
It's a very nutrition-rich dish. Specifically,
It is, right?
Specifically, it's only protein.
No.
It is only protein.
The beans are a very good source of fiber.
Oh, okay. Protein, carbs, and fiber. Okay.
Yes.
No vegetables. I thought you were supposed to have tomatoes with the British breakfast.
The tomato sauce is the vegetable.
Fair enough.
Can we still talking about my breakfast?
Fair enough. What do I eat for breakfast usually? If I ever eat breakfast, it's just like a over easy egg and some potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually look certain. Like I go bake a croissant.
A croissant.
Croissant.
Croissant. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have access to some very nice pastries.
No, I have it at home. Like I can make it at home.
Oh, you make your own
You
croissant?
just make a croissant from scratch?
Yeah, with I have an air fryer, so I
Wait a
Oh my
minute.
God.
Wait, this took a turn. I'm like, oh, that sounds really. Oh wait,
He has an air fryer.
An air fryer.
I fucking love air fryers.
I had like this image in my head of you meticulously like folding the dough to make your own croissants.
No. I buy the croissant and then I cook it with.
Just put it there.
Wait, you guys,
Yeah.
you air fry your croissant?
Yeah, like
I
how
mean, a
else would
croissant.
you-
You know, an air fryer is a. It's a very small convection oven. It's essentially a toaster oven.
Yeah.
But fancy because it's called an air fryer instead of a toaster.
Yeah, you're frying air. Like you're not.
It's a convection oven. It just heats up quicker than a toaster oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a desktop convection oven.
So Genshin.
Yeah.
Impact my Genshin.
I have to go now.
Oh no.
Who are you? Where can people follow you? Want to plug your socials? What's your next project?
Oh, my next
Outro.
project is making a gaming video comparing him to Hutao. Since I had to make a gaming video, and I thought, how can I make this exciting? So I'm making this PvP thing.
Compare him to D-Luke.
No,
He's already better.
Is he though?
I think it's only isn't only a few DPS off Diluc, like higher at C6.
I remember asking Jason, do you think gaming is better than Diluc in pre-release? And he laughed at me, like at the full ridiculousness of the question, because Diluc, like gaming was just so much better. And now he's asking, is the one asking.
I will ask if you're gonna make a gaming video. Make sure it's correct. Make sure. There's so much misinformation about this dude. Oh, I can't. You like play? But yeah, I like pledging with D-Luke. I think it's fun. I do feel good. It's a shame that
Anyway.
he doesn't have a 5-star.
It's been fun.
Anyway, it's been fun. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Flip. What about you? You're supposed to sign out too.
Oh, okay. Well, I was actually about to release my Xianyun video soon, and then after that it's going to be a Farazan guide, because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation surrounding her.
Tell me about misinformation about Farazan. Let's go.
She does not have a 300% energy requirement. There we go.
She has a 300% energy recommendation.
And also, I think people. How do I say this without sounding stupid? People massively over-exaggerate how people say she's unplayable without C6. I also don't think that's very true.
I think she's playable with C2.
Yeah, same. That's the point I'm gonna make as well.
Yep.
But yeah, those two things. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye.